There was a time in my life when I felt broken, shattered into pieces, as if everything that mattered had slipped through my fingers. I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back at me. I was lost, defeated, and tired of trying. It felt like life had waged war against me, and I was on the losing side. Rebuilding your life starts with taking responsibility, and that's one of the hardest truths to face. It's not easy to look at your life with all its pain, mistakes, and failures and admit that some of it is on you. But let me tell you, that's the moment your life begins to change. Responsibility is not about guilt or self-blame. It's about recognizing your power. As long as you keep pointing fingers at your circumstances, other people, or even bad luck, you are giving away your control. And the moment you give up control, you're stuck. You're at the mercy of everything outside yourself. That's no way to live, and it's certainly no way to rebuild. When I talk about taking responsibility, I'm talking about accepting the fact that your life is your own. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody is coming to fix things for you. You are not a victim of life. Yes, terrible things may have happened to you. You might have endured pain, betrayal, or unimaginable loss. And no, you didn't deserve any of it. But here's the truth: how you choose to respond is entirely up to you. Life is not fair, and it never will be. But the unfairness of life doesn't have to define you. Your response does. The question is, will you let the pain control you, or will you take control? Taking responsibility starts with honesty. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. Look at where you are right now. What decisions got you here? What habits, patterns, or choices have been holding you back? It's easy to say, I didn't have the resources or no one ever taught me how to succeed, but at some point you have to decide that those reasons will no longer stop you. Excuses may feel comforting in the short term, but they're poison in the long run. They rob you of your ability to act. The moment you stop making excuses, you'll realize how much power you actually have. That's when you begin to rebuild. Responsibility also means letting go of the past. It means forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made and releasing the people who hurt you. Holding on to anger or regret will only keep you anchored in a place you're trying to move on from. Rebuilding your life is like constructing a house. You can't build anything solid if the foundation is cracked with blame, resentment, or self-pity. Taking responsibility is clearing out the debris so you can start fresh. It's not about pretending the past didn't happen. It's about refusing to let it dictate your future. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for things to change. Instead, you start changing things. You stop saying, I can't do this because of X, Y, or Z, and start asking, what can I do with what I have right now? You might not have all the resources, but you have something. You might not know everything, but you can start learning. You might not be where you want to be, but you can take the first step. Responsibility is about action. It's about saying, this is my life, and I will make it better no matter what. Now, this doesn't mean you have to do everything alone. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you don't ask for help or seek guidance. In fact, it takes courage to admit when you need support. But there's a big difference between asking for help and waiting to be rescued. When you take responsibility, you realize that the ultimate accountability still lies with you. People can guide you, support you, or teach you, but at the end of the day, you're the one who has to do the work. No one else can take the steps for you. Responsibility also comes with a shift in mindset. You stop seeing problems as obstacles and start viewing them as challenges. Challenges you have the power to face. Every setback becomes an opportunity to learn. But every failure becomes a stepping stone to growth. When you take responsibility, you start to see yourself as capable. And let me tell you, there is nothing more powerful than believing in your own ability to overcome. This mindset shift is not easy. It requires daily effort. It means catching yourself when you start to complain and flipping the script. It means reminding yourself that you are stronger than you think and capable of more than you know. It means holding yourself accountable even when no one else is watching. And it means being kind to yourself when you fall short, but refusing to let that stop you from trying again. The most liberating thing about taking responsibility is that it puts the power back in your hands. You realize that while you can't control everything that happens to you, you can control how you respond. And your response is what shapes your life. Taking responsibility doesn't mean your journey will be easy. In fact, it will probably be the hardest thing you've ever done. But it will also be the most rewarding. Because when you rebuild yourself from a place of ownership, no one can take that from you. You become unshakable. You become unstoppable. And most importantly, you become the person you were always meant to be. Hitting rock bottom is one of the most painful experiences anyone can endure. It feels like everything you've built, everything you've worked for, has crumbled beneath you. It's dark, lonely, and overwhelming. But here's the truth, rock bottom isn't the end. It's the foundation. It's the place where you can rebuild, not just patch up the broken pieces, but create something entirely new, something stronger, something better than before. The beauty of hitting rock bottom is that there's nowhere left to fall. You're already at the lowest point, so the fear of failure begins to fade. You start to realize that you've survived the worst of it. You're still here, breathing, standing, maybe barely, but standing nonetheless. And from that place of complete devastation, you have a choice. You can either stay there, wallowing in the pain, or you can decide to use that moment as the turning point of your life. It's not easy to make that decision, but it's the most important decision you'll ever make. When everything is stripped away, you're left with the raw truth of who you are and what matters most. You begin to see the parts of your life that weren't serving you, the habits, relationships, or mindsets that contributed to your downfall. Rock bottom is clarifying. It forces you to confront the uncomfortable truths about yourself and your life. It's a painful process, but it's also an opportunity to let go of what's no longer serving you. You get to start fresh, to build something from scratch, this time with intention and purpose. One of the most important lessons about hitting rock bottom is that it humbles you. It strips away the ego, the need to impress others, or the illusion of control. When you're at the bottom, you stop pretending. You're no longer trying to keep up appearances or prove anything to anyone. It's just you, raw and real. And in that humility, you find strength. You realize that you don't need to rely on external validation or superficial achievements to define your worth. You begin to see that your value comes from within, not from what the world says about you. Rock bottom also teaches you resilience. When you're down there, every little step feels like a mountain. But as you start to climb, you realize how strong you are. You realize that the things you thought would break you didn't destroy you, they shaped you. They taught you patience, persistence, and the power of hope. Every small victory, every moment of progress becomes a reminder that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. And the more you climb, the more you believe in yourself. The process of rebuilding from rock bottom is messy. It's not a straight path, and it's certainly not easy. There will be setbacks, moments when you want to give up, and days when it feels like you're not making any progress. But that's where the foundation is built, in the struggle. It's in those moments of doubt and difficulty that you find your strength. You learn to trust the process, to take things one day at a time, and to keep moving forward, no matter how slow the progress feels. Another gift of hitting rock bottom is perspective. When you've lost everything or felt like you had nothing left, you start to appreciate the little things. You find gratitude in the small victories, the quiet moments, the people who stand by you when you have nothing to offer but your presence. That gratitude becomes a cornerstone of your new foundation. It shifts your focus from what you don't have to what you do have. And that shift is transformative. Gratitude has a way of turning even the darkest moments into opportunities for growth. Rock bottom is also a place of reinvention. When everything falls apart, you're given a blank slate. You get to decide who you want to be, what kind of life you want to create, and what really matters to you. It's a chance to let go of the expectations and pressures that may have been weighing you down. You don't have to live up to anyone else's standards anymore. You get to create your own. And that's liberating. You get to design a life that aligns with your values, your dreams, and your truth. In many ways, rock bottom is the ultimate teacher. It forces you to confront your fears, your insecurities, and your limitations. It strips away the distractions and leaves you face to face with yourself. And in that space of vulnerability, you find clarity. You begin to see what's really important, what's worth fighting for, and what you're capable of overcoming. You learn to trust yourself, to rely on your inner strength, and to believe in your ability to rise again. The climb from rock bottom is not about getting back to where you were. It's about creating something entirely new. It's about taking the lessons you've learned, the strength you've gained, and using them to build a life that's stronger, deeper, and more meaningful. You're not just rebuilding, you're transforming. And that transformation is what makes rock bottom a gift, even though it doesn't feel like it at the time. It's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter, one where you rise from the ashes stronger than ever before. But redefining your vision isn't just about setting goals. It's about becoming the person who can achieve them. It's about shifting your identity to match the life you want to create. If your vision is to be healthy and fit, you need to start seeing yourself as someone who prioritizes health. If your vision is to be a leader, you need to adopt the mindset of a leader. Your vision isn't just about what you want to have, it's about who you want to be. One of the most important aspects of redefining your vision is aligning it with your values. Your vision should reflect what truly matters to you, not what looks good on paper or impresses other people. If your vision is only focused on material success but neglects your relationships, your health, or your inner peace, you'll find yourself unfulfilled even if you achieve it. When your vision is rooted in your core values, it becomes a source of joy, meaning, and motivation. To bring your vision to life, you need to write it down. There's something powerful about putting your dreams into words. It takes them out of your head and makes them tangible. Describe your vision in as much detail as possible. What does your ideal day look like? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Who are you surrounded by? What are you working toward? The more vividly you can paint this picture, the more your brain will start to believe it's possible. But having a vision isn't enough. You need to take action. Break your vision down into smaller, actionable steps. If your vision is to write a book, start with a single page. If your vision is to start a business, begin by researching your market. If your vision is to improve your health, commit to one healthy habit at a time. Progress may be slow at first, but every step you take brings you closer to the life you've imagined. Redefining your vision also means being willing to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances change. The vision you create today might need to evolve as you grow and learn. Don't be afraid to revise your goals or adjust your path. Flexibility doesn't mean you're giving up on your dream. It means you're staying open to better opportunities and possibilities. One of the biggest challenges in redefining your vision is overcoming fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears will try to convince you to settle for less, to play it safe, to stick with what's comfortable. But here's the truth: nothing great is achieved without taking risks. You have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone, to face the uncertainty, and to believe in yourself even when no one else does. Your vision should scare you a little. It should challenge you to grow. If your dreams don't make you uncomfortable, they're not big enough. But at the same time, your vision should inspire you. It should remind you why you're putting in the effort, why you're pushing through the hard times, and why you refuse to give up. Redefining your vision is not a one-time event, it's a continuous process. As you achieve your goals, you'll discover new dreams. As you grow, your vision will expand. The key is to stay connected to your purpose and to keep moving forward, no matter what challenges come your way. When you redefine your vision, you give yourself permission to dream again. You take control of your future and create a roadmap for the life you deserve. And as you work toward that vision, you'll discover not only what you're capable of, but also the limitless potential that's been inside you all along. Building new habits and skills is the foundation of transformation. It's not about making dramatic overnight changes. It's about the small, consistent actions that over time reshape your life. Many people underestimate the power of habits. They think success comes from big moments or lucky breaks, but the truth is, it's the little things you do every day that define your future. If you want to rebuild yourself, you must commit to cultivating habits and skills that align with the life you envision. Habits are the invisible force driving your behavior. Every action you take, no matter how small, stems from the habits you've developed over time. Some habits serve you, they help you grow, improve, and move closer to your goals. Others hold you back, they waste your time, drain your energy, or sabotage your progress. The key to rebuilding yourself is identifying which habits need to go and which ones need to take their place. Changing habits isn't easy, especially when you've been repeating the same patterns for years. But it's possible if you start small. Too often, people try to overhaul their entire lives at once. They set big resolutions like going to the gym every day, eating perfectly, or waking up at 5 a.m., only to burn out within weeks. Real, lasting change doesn't work that way. It starts with one habit at a time. Focus on one small, manageable change you can stick to. Maybe it's drinking more water, reading 10 pages of a book each day, or spending 15 minutes exercising. These small wins build momentum and confidence, making it easier to add more habits over time. Another key to building new habits is understanding the role of triggers. Habits are often tied to specific cues in your environment. For example, you might snack mindlessly when you're bored, check your phone first thing in the morning, or procrastinate when you feel overwhelmed. To create new habits, you need to replace old triggers with new ones. If you want to start journaling, place your notebook and pen on your bedside table as a reminder. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Setting up your environment for success makes it easier to stick to your habits. Accountability is another powerful tool for building habits. When you keep your goals to yourself, it's easy to let them slide. But when you involve someone else, whether it's a friend, coach, or mentor, you create a sense of responsibility. Tell someone about the habits you're trying to build and ask them to check in with you. Better yet, find an accountability partner who's working toward their own goals so you can support and motivate each other. As you work on building new habits, don't forget to celebrate your progress. It's easy to focus on how far you have to go and overlook how far you've come. But every time you stick to your habit, you're reinforcing a new identity. If you go for a run, even if it's just for 10 minutes, you're proving to yourself that you're someone who prioritizes their health. If you spend 15 minutes learning a new skill, you're reinforcing that you're someone who values growth. These small actions add up, and over time, they lead to massive results. While habits are essential, skills are equally important. Rebuilding yourself often requires learning and mastering new skills that support your goals. Skills are the tools that allow you to turn your vision into reality. If you want to change careers, you might need to develop technical skills, network effectively, or improve your communication. If you want to start a business, you'll need to learn about marketing, finance, and leadership. If you want to improve your relationships, you might need to work on empathy, listening, or conflict resolution. Learning new skills can be intimidating, especially if you feel like you're starting from scratch, but every expert was once a beginner. The key is to embrace a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities can improve with effort and practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes or fail along the way. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Each mistake is an opportunity to learn and grow, as long as you're willing to reflect and adjust. One of the best ways to develop new skills is through deliberate practice. This means focusing on specific areas for improvement, seeking feedback, and pushing yourself just beyond your comfort zone. For example, if you're learning to write, don't just write aimlessly, study great writing, seek feedback from others, and challenge yourself to try new techniques. Deliberate practice requires effort and focus, but it's the fastest way to grow. In today's world, there's no shortage of resources to help you learn new skills. Books, online courses, podcasts, mentors, and communities are all at your fingertips. Take advantage of these resources, but remember that consuming information isn't the same as taking action. It's easy to get stuck in the trap of endlessly learning without applying what you've learned. Make sure you're balancing study with practice. As you build new habits and skills, consistency is key. Progress doesn't happen overnight, but it compounds over time. Think of it like planting seeds. At first, you won't see much growth. You might even feel like nothing is happening. But if you keep watering those seeds, sticking to your habits, practicing your skills, you'll eventually see the fruits of your labor. The results will come as long as you stay consistent and committed. Rebuilding yourself is a journey, and building new habits and skills is the foundation of that journey. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, and doing the work to become the person you want to be. Each habit you build, each skill you master, brings you one step closer to the life you're capable of creating. And over time, those small, consistent efforts will lead to a transformation you never thought possible. Embracing resilience is essential when rebuilding yourself. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. You will face setbacks, disappointments, and failures, no matter how carefully you plan or how hard you try. But resilience is what allows you to rise each time you fall. It's the inner strength that helps you keep going when the world feels like it's working against you. It's not about avoiding hardship, it's about finding the courage and determination to move through it. Resilience begins with your mindset. How you view challenges will determine how you respond to them. When faced with adversity, some people see it as the end, a sign that they failed or that they're not good enough. Others see it as an opportunity, a chance to learn, grow, and become stronger. This is the essence of resilience, choosing to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. Every difficulty you encounter holds a lesson, a chance to develop qualities like patience, perseverance, and grit. One of the most important aspects of resilience is learning how to control what you can and let go of what you can't. Life often throws things at us that are beyond our control, unexpected events, other people's decisions, or random misfortunes. Wasting energy on what you can't change only leaves you frustrated and powerless. Instead, focus on what you can control: your attitude, your choices, and your actions. These are the things that truly define your resilience. When you shift your energy toward what you can influence, you reclaim your power and take ownership of your life. Resilience also requires emotional strength. It's not about pretending everything is fine when it's not. It's about allowing yourself to feel your emotions without being consumed by them. When something goes wrong, it's natural to feel sad, angry, or disappointed. But resilience means acknowledging those feelings, processing them, and then deciding to move forward anyway. You don't ignore your pain, you work through it. You remind yourself that tough times don't last forever and that you have the capacity to endure and overcome. Self-compassion plays a significant role in building resilience. Too often we are our own harshest critics, blaming ourselves for failures or setbacks. But beating yourself up doesn't make you stronger, it makes you feel smaller. Resilience is about treating yourself with kindness, especially in difficult moments. It's about recognizing that everyone struggles, that mistakes are part of being human, and that you're doing the best you can. When you show yourself compassion, you create the mental and emotional space to recover and try again. Resilience isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving despite the challenges. It's about finding meaning and purpose in the midst of difficulty. Many of the most resilient people have a strong sense of why they're doing what they do. They have a purpose that keeps them grounded, even when life feels chaotic. That purpose could be a dream they're working toward, the love they have for their family, or a commitment to something greater than themselves. When you know your why, it becomes easier to persevere through the how. Another key element of resilience is adaptability. Life rarely goes according to plan, and the ability to adjust and pivot is crucial. Resilience doesn't mean sticking stubbornly to one path, it means being flexible enough to find new ways forward when the old ones are blocked. Adaptability allows you to see setbacks as redirections rather than failures. It helps you stay open to opportunities and solutions you might not have considered before. The more adaptable you are, the more resilient you become. Building resilience also involves surrounding yourself with support. No one is resilient in isolation. We all need people we can lean on during tough times, friends, family, mentors, or a supportive community. These are the people who remind you of your strength when you're feeling weak, who encourage you to keep going when you want to give up. Don't be afraid to reach out for help when you need it. Asking for support isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom and courage. Physical well-being is another often overlooked aspect of resilience. Your body and mind are deeply connected, and taking care of your physical health can strengthen your emotional resilience. Regular exercise, adequate sleep, and a healthy diet can improve your mood, energy levels, and ability to handle stress. When your body is strong, it's easier to face challenges with a clear mind and steady spirit. Resilience also grows through practice. Every time you face a challenge and choose to keep going, you're strengthening your resilience muscle. You're proving to yourself that you can handle difficulty, that you're capable of more than you thought. Over time, these small acts of perseverance build an unshakable foundation of inner strength. Resilience isn't something you're born with, it's something you develop one step at a time. It's important to remember that resilience doesn't mean never feeling defeated. Even the strongest people have moments of doubt, fear, or despair. Resilience is about what you do next. Do you stay down or do you get back up? Do you let the setback define you or do you use it as fuel to grow? Each time you choose to rise, you're telling yourself, I am stronger than this. At its core, resilience is about hope. It's about believing that no matter how hard things get, there's always a way forward. It's about trusting that the challenges you face are shaping you into the person you're meant to be. And it's about knowing that, even in the darkest moments, there's a light within you that can never be extinguished. Resilience is what turns pain into power, obstacles into opportunities, and struggles into strength. It's the force that keeps you moving, no matter what life throws your way. Finding purpose in the process is one of the most transformative steps in rebuilding yourself. Too often, we focus solely on the end result, achieving the goal, reaching the destination, or becoming the person we envision. While these aspirations are important, the journey itself holds the real power to change you. When you shift your focus from where you're going to who you're becoming along the way, you unlock a deeper sense of purpose that fuels your growth and resilience. Life is not a straight line. The path to self-reinvention is filled with twists, turns, and detours. Some days you'll feel like you're making incredible progress, and on others it may seem like you're stuck or even moving backward. This is natural, and it's part of the process. But finding purpose in the process means appreciating every moment for what it offers: an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. Even setbacks and challenges have value because they teach you lessons you can't learn any other way. To find purpose in the process, you must let go of the need for immediate results. Our culture often glorifies instant success, making it easy to feel discouraged when progress seems slow. But real, lasting change takes time. Just as a seed doesn't become a tree overnight, you won't transform yourself in a matter of days or weeks. The beauty of the process lies in the small, consistent actions you take every day, the effort you put in even when no one is watching and when the results aren't yet visible. Each step in the journey has its own significance. The early stages might be about unlearning habits that no longer serve you or letting go of limiting beliefs. This can be uncomfortable because it requires confronting parts of yourself that you'd rather ignore. But this discomfort is where growth begins. As you move forward, you start to build new habits, acquire new skills, and develop a deeper understanding of yourself. These moments of progress, no matter how small, are worth celebrating because they bring you closer to the person you're becoming. Finding purpose in the process also means embracing the present moment. It's easy to get so caught up in future goals that you forget to appreciate the journey, but every moment is a chance to experience life fully. When you focus too much on the destination, you miss out on the lessons, joys, and experiences that happen along the way. The process is where life happens, and finding purpose in it allows you to stay grounded and engaged. A key part of finding purpose in the process is understanding that growth isn't linear. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, and other days you'll feel like you've made no progress at all. This is normal, and it doesn't mean you're failing. In fact, the times when you feel stuck or discouraged are often the times when you're growing the most. These moments force you to dig deep, to find strength and determination you didn't know you had. They teach you resilience, patience, and the ability to keep going even when the path ahead is unclear. Another way to find purpose in the process is to shift your perspective on failure. Failure isn't the end of the road, it's part of the journey. Every time you fall short, you're given a chance to learn and improve. Each setback is an opportunity to reflect on what went wrong, adjust your approach, and come back stronger. When you see failure as a teacher rather than an enemy, you begin to appreciate the process for what it truly is, a series of lessons that shape you into the person you're meant to be. Gratitude is another powerful tool for finding purpose in the process. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you begin to see the journey in a new light. Instead of fixating on how far you still have to go, you can appreciate how far you've already come. Gratitude allows you to find joy in the small wins and to recognize the progress you're making, even when it feels slow. One of the most rewarding aspects of finding purpose in the process is the sense of self-discovery it brings. The journey of rebuilding yourself isn't just about achieving external goals, it's about uncovering who you truly are. As you navigate the challenges and triumphs of the process, you learn more about your strengths, values, and passions. You discover what truly matters to you and what you're capable of. This self-awareness is one of the greatest gifts the process has to offer. The process also teaches you to let go of perfectionism. When you're rebuilding yourself, there will be moments of messiness, mistakes, and uncertainty. But perfection isn't the goal, progress is. Each imperfect step you take is still a step forward, and each mistake you make is an opportunity to learn and grow. Finding purpose in the process means accepting that imperfection is part of the journey and that it's okay to be a work in progress. Lastly, finding purpose in the process allows you to inspire others. Your journey isn't just about you, it's about the impact you have on those around you. When people see you embracing the process, pushing through challenges, and growing along the way, you become a source of inspiration. Your courage to rebuild yourself encourages others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of growth and transformation. Finding purpose in the process is about more than reaching the finish line. It's about valuing every step of the journey, no matter how difficult or uncertain it may be. It's about understanding that the process itself is what shapes you, strengthens you, and prepares you for the life you're working toward. When you find purpose in the process, you're not just rebuilding yourself, you're becoming the person you were always meant to be. Rebuilding yourself is a journey of growth, resilience, and self-discovery. Embrace every step of the process, trust in your ability to adapt, and find purpose in the lessons and progress along the way. The transformation is not just in reaching the destination, but in becoming stronger, wiser, and truer to yourself through the journey.